Don't talk like you know what's going on, boy.
All I want is for this investigation to run perfectly.
Perfection is the only wish of a disciple of Von Karma, after all.
Therefore, before you take Detective Gumshoe into custody, I'd like to set the record straight on something.
And what's that?
What should I ask Detective Gumshoe about? I suppose the one thing I'd like clarified is Detective Gumshoe's motive for committing this crime.
Motive, huh? Gumshoe, you got a grudge against Faraday or anything?
What? Oh, you're talking to me! No, sir! Not me! Not a single bad thing against Mr. Faraday, sir!
Is that a fact?
You really have a problem with lying, don't you, Detective Gumshoe?
I'm telling you, I'm not lying!
The more unnatural you act, the more suspicious you become, you know.
If you want a motive, Edgeworth, I have one for you right here.
Could you please share it with us? However, be forewarned that I won't hesitate to object to flights of fancy, because all I'm interested in is the perfect explanation.
Oh, you're serious, aren't you? Fine. You amuse me, so I'll humor you with a little courtroom practice. Let's see what you've got, McFrillers. It was about a week ago. I saw the detective get chewed out by Livid Faraday in front of the precinct. He stood there super pale as Mr. Faraday yelled, "That's a salary cut for you, you nitwit!" A brand new detective suddenly getting a salary cut. That's reason enough for a grudge. Well, how's that for the perfect explanation?
You totally misunderstand me, pal! No matter how mad I get, I could never hold a grudge!
Quiet. We can't trust anything you say.
But, sir...
There's nothing wrong with the motive she proposed per se, but there are some gaps in her logic that need to be filled in. Miss Yew's perfect explanation may not be so perfect after all. Now, let's begin.
Look, pal, I know you're just a kid, but...
Like I said,
I really need you
about
to...
a week ago.
I honestly didn't do it.
Blah, blah, blah,
They won't let me talk.
blah.
You gotta figure something out.
Why are you
Hold it! You just stood there watching this unfold in front of you.
Yeah, I have to say, it was really enjoyable too. But that's why when I saw Detective Gumshoe earlier, I knew to steer clear of him.
No way! I thought it was because I had something stuck on my face! Huh? What have I got stuck on my face?
Let's start with your eyes, nose, mouth, oh, and those ridiculous eyebrows.
What?
Oh man, messing with your head is just too much.
That's not very nice.
Miss Yew, if you don't mind, I'd like to return to your testimony now.
Why not? Oh, what a loser! A brand new detective suddenly getting a salary cut. That's reason enough for a grudge.
Hold it! To cut a new detective's salary right off the bat like that.
Now, I'm not really familiar with the way you guys relate, but isn't that a common practice?
Speaking of cutting my salary, didn't you threaten to do that to me earlier too?
I suppose I did.
Do you think maybe that's reason enough for detectives to hate you people?
Well, I guess they really shouldn't cut people's pay.
Detective Bad, don't tell me Mr. Von Kammer cut your salary earlier.
Well, all that muffled laughing really ruined my makeup. I'm gonna let you read.
Hold it!
What?
A week ago? Then you and Detective Gumshoe are acquaintances.
No way! I only met him in person today.
Then how did you know about Detective Gumshoe?
Oh, I've seen him around before. I'm gonna give it 2 seconds. 2, 1.
Hold it!
Ah, there we go.
Mr. Faraday was upset.
Yeah, you know what else? Mr. Faraday isn't exactly known to get angry often. But there he was, with being run in the face like a tomato. And the offending detective just stood there, pale as a ghost, like he was about to die.
Just like the face he's making now, right?
I'm completely innocent, I tell you.
The poor man.
It was quite the scene with the detective. Look, if there's nothing else, I'm just gonna pull up my makeup again and...
Hold it! You call your explanation perfect?
Is it not to your liking?
Unfortunately for you, it's just not up to my standards.
Oh, is there something you want me to clarify in that case?
What should I do? Should I raise an objection? All right, if you could clear this one thing up for me. I understand Detective Gumshoe's potential motive for killing Mr. Faraday. However, what about his motive for killing Mr. Rell?
His motive for killing Rell? Like I would know.
If there was no clear motive for both of the murders, then I doubt this incident would have occurred. Wouldn't you agree? Is there anyone else who might have a grudge against either of the two men? Or should we look into that ourselves?
Oh, in that case, I have absolutely no idea.
Huh? What? But that's impossible! She must know something!
Wait! Can you please not glare at me like that? It makes me laugh.
I didn't even do anything and you're already laughing away!
Well, anyway, the way I see it, as long as he had a motive to kill one of the two, this crime would have played out the way it did anyway.
Oh? Would you care to explain your logic? And this time, please try to provide a truly perfect explanation.
This perfect thought! Stop being so uptight! Where's that arrested grade for being a funny...
Miles Edgeworth, I demand you shut this rude woman up.
I wish you would both be quiet for just 1 second.
Oh, well, I guess I'll just have to explain it to you two kids. Storytime, Bratsworth. There's no one out there with a motive to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. All you really have to establish is that someone had a grudge against one of the two men. Mr. Rell, who happened to be there, became a witness to Mr. Faraday's murder. Therefore, he was killed out of necessity and set up to look like they had killed each other. The end.
I wonder if that's really true. Is there no one out there with a grudge against both men? I should take another hard look at the evidence for this morning's case. The second KG-8 incident, as people are calling it, involving an embassy staff member, and the two men who both wound up as suspects in the case. Is there someone else I'm overlooking who is somehow related to them?
So, what does the walking Kleenex box have in store for us this time?
Now, let's check this case file and see what I can find. Manny Cochin, huh? I wonder... Objection! Miss Yew, I believe there is someone you overlooked in making your statement. Or rather, is it because you'd rather not bring this person up?
What do you mean?
We are looking for someone with a reason to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. I can think of at least one person that fits the bill. He was the suspect in the original KG-8 incident. And a member of the Cadopian Embassy staff, Mr. Manny Cochin. That's right. The very man who came to visit you earlier out in the hallway. The man who killed a member of the Cadopian Embassy staff, Mr. Tyrell. And the man who was the lead prosecutor of the KG-8 incident, Mr. Faraday. Are you telling me that Mr. Cochin has no reason at all to kill both of these men?
Well, I suppose he might have a reason or two.
You covered for me, pal! That's awesome! Ah, gee. Maybe you're not such a bad guy after all.
Don't get ahead of yourself. You're still a suspect, make no mistake about that. The perfect evidence, the perfect testimony, these are the only things I wish to hold.
But I didn't do it!
Huh. You will stay under my authority and go investigate Mr. Manny Cochin for me. And remember, I will not be very forgiving should any of this—
Hold it! You want to investigate Cochin? You'd just be wasting your time.
And why is that?
Cochin was up in the viewing gallery watching the trial. Or so I was told. Every cop in this place has been keeping an eye on the guy since he arrived.
Then the only real suspect we have is still Detective Gumshoe.
I suppose so.
No way! Come on, Detective Bad! You've got to believe me, sir! I really was in the hallway the whole time, sir! I never took a single step into this room, sir!
Okay. Then are you saying there was someone else who passed through the hallway?
No. There was no one else, sir.
That is one incredibly foolish detective, standing right in front of a crime scene all by himself. It's as good as a confession of guilt.
I have to admit, it's a bit strange. Most criminals will fabricate some sort of lie to escape their crimes. And if that detective really wanted to prove that he is innocent, you'd think he would at the very least offer up, "I spaced out while on duty" or the like.
Come on, Gumshoe. Time for your interrogation.
Oh, Detective Bad.
Miles Edgeworth, I will go ahead and report this to Papa.
And that, as they say, is that. Right, everyone? Ho, ho, ho.
Well, I suppose we should both be getting back to our real jobs now, huh?
Before we do, Miss Yew, there is something I'd like to speak with you about.
What is it?
Speaking completely off character, this lady is an asshole. Who makes fun of Gumshoe?